So today we're in my bedroom and I wanted to talk about something really interesting. Oh my God, Maple! So I thought that we could do a chit chat and get ready together because I wanted to talk about something kind of interesting and controversial. And since I'm home for today, I figured let's talk about misogyny in medicine. So if you're interested and want to keep following along, then please keep watching. I don't think I'm gonna get her to stop, so we'll just leave her in the background and start. So I have all my makeup in front of me and I'll kind of show you guys the products as I go along. I have a very basic regimen. I don't do anything too crazy, or I don't really change it up that often, but I do get a lot of amazing makeup from Sephora, and they just had their Sephora sale, so I restocked on a lot of good stuff. So sorry if the pillows are messy or you hear her or see her in the background. She's crazy and I can't stop her. She's still in her puppy years and very difficult. You know, she just loves to rustle and follow me around and just destroy everything in her path. So we're gonna forget about her. So I'm gonna start doing my makeup. Let me bring you down a little bit. I haven't done one of these before. This is my first time, so I'm gonna try and walk you through all the products and then we'll kind of talk in between. First, I'm gonna use the Peter Thomas Roth Hyaluronic Glow Serum. This is like the water formula. So I have super dry skin, and like being in hospitals and at work, there's something about like the air conditioning there that just makes your skin so freaking dry. And then the ORs are so cold. Like I have the driest skin, and washing your hands and using sanitizer on your hands, you have the driest hands and everything is just the Sahara Desert. So I'm gonna just put on some cream like that. I do also really recommend this SPF, or putting on any SPF in general. It's really important for your skin and your overall skin texture and health to make sure that you're blocking the UV rays of the sun. So you need to use an SPF. I will do 1 pump of that. This does leave a bit of a white cast, but I just do a very thin layer and it goes on my face. So listen, the reason I want to talk about misogyny is that there's so many scenarios that women encounter in the workforce, and honestly, it is so sad and unfortunate because we are in 2021 and you would think that this stuff wouldn't be happening still, but fortunately it does, and we are not an exception. Residents, medical professionals, and I just want to share some of my stories. I'm not going to name any names or be very specific with the scenarios, but I just want to kind of open that discussion. And what better way to talk about it than over makeup, which is like the girliest, most feminine, fun thing ever. Okay, and I'm going to start with primer. This is the Tatcha Luminous Liquid Silk Canvas, which is amazing. This is very bougie, but definitely worth it. I like to put a little bit just in the middle here. It's really thick and really nice, really silky. So this also is so moisturizing. Like I said, I have super dry skin. Definitely love that. All right, looks good. So I'm gonna start with my foundation, which I use the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation in the color 6.25. That's my winter like pale shade, and then in the summer I'm 6.5, which I think is perfect. Usually just dot it on with my finger and on my forehead, and then So misogyny itself is defined as a mistreatment of women based on their sex or their gender. And that's definitely a very broad generalization of what I want to talk about, but these things happen to women in all aspects of the workforce and in different parts of the world, and based on what they're doing, their life, their career. And I just want to give examples that this stuff happens in medicine as well. It's unfortunate and we don't want it to be like that, but it happens and it's very annoying. And And it's kind of like, what do you do about it, you know? If you feel like there have been scenarios that you feel uncomfortable or threatened in, there really isn't much that people do when you feel like, oh, you're a resident and you're not in the position to really say things, or when you're a medical student and you feel like you're not in the position to complain, or you don't want to get in trouble or have anyone look at you a certain way or anything. So certain examples that I've had all throughout even medical school where, you know, people just talking about how young I am or how young I look. People don't realize that all doctors start off in their 20s, and it's kind of rare to enter medicine in your 30s or 40s. Not that it doesn't happen, but most people start medical school straight out of university and they're in their early 20s. And when they become a resident or graduate medical school, they're in their only mid-20s. I started medical school at the age of 22, and then I started residency at the age of 26. And that's the exact timeline for the last 100 years, I would say. Men don't realize this. I've had scenarios where I've had attendings and my supervisors just be like, what are you, 12? Like, what are you doing here? You're so young. Like, you just look like you're 12 or you're 18. And while that is a compliment, that's also like a backhanded compliment, because yeah, I'm happy I look young and I take care of myself, but I don't want to be like compared to like a 12-year-old when obviously that's not what the point of this career is to look young or to be compared to a 12-year-old. Like, it's a little ridiculous, you know? I've had that a lot of times where, you know, they're not saying it in a happy way or a complimentary way. They're saying, oh my God, like, look at this little kid that's now here who's gonna be working with me. She's just gonna be so embarrassing. And that's not a fun experience. So that's one example where I just was not happy with those types of comments, you know? And I know tons of other residents and other girls have been told this kind of stuff in the workforce. I'm putting on my concealer. Oh, I didn't show you guys concealer. I'm using the Hourglass concealer. This one's really good, and the color is Beach, B-E-E-C-H, like bitch, but beach. So yeah, I don't know. That kind of stuff it's a double-edged sword, because hell yeah, I take care of myself, I look good, I have clear skin, I wear nice makeup, I dress well when I'm not in scrubs, and I'm moisturized, I'm not trying to get any wrinkles. And yeah, but I don't want to be compared to a 12-year-old. Like, that's not cool. So just stippling out the concealer. Oh, I'm using these Jaclyn Hill Morphe brushes, by the way, which I got like when she initially launched them, and this is like all I use. I love Jaclyn Hill. I don't really care for all of the drama and stuff that goes on with the YouTube influencers. For me, I'm all about convenience, and she released a brush kit where literally everything I need is in one kit, so I bought it, and I was like, whatever. As a medical student and resident, you're not trying to do a million steps and take forever to do your makeup. Most of the time, I actually just use a tinted moisturizer, or I go barefaced now. Like, I don't care. With the pandemic, no one's wearing makeup anymore. No one's really like putting their best foot forward, because you're wearing a mask and it covers everything, or it will take off all your makeup. So imagine I have a full face of makeup and then I have like a ring of makeup that's been wiped off. It's so weird, and then you can't even fix it. Like, it's just a mess. So that's that. So I have the concealer on, and I'm going to set it now with my Charlotte Tilbury powder. So I use number 2 right in the middle, and then use a different powder for the rest. Another scenario of myself encountering some weird situations are being called a nurse. Now, I want to say there's nothing wrong with being a nurse or being compared to a nurse, but it is frustrating being mistaken for a nurse or one of the technicians or whatever, because you work so hard, you put all this effort in. I have said time and time again, it is not easy to get to this point, to be a doctor and to just get through all the million freaking steps that exist And then to get to the point where you're finally in patient care and the patient is calling you the nurse. And it just does dig a little bit and does sting. And what I even did in my first year of residency is I bought those like laminated cards that say the word doctor underneath, so people would stop mistaking me for a nurse. And it's just, again, there's nothing wrong with it. I love the nurses that we work with. I'm so appreciative of them, and the physical therapists, occupational therapists, they're all beautiful young women, but I am not one of them. I am the doctor. I'm the physician treating you. I'm in charge of your care. And for patients, other people in the workforce to say, oh, that's the nurse, it's just a little bit archaic with the thought process. Like, it kind of implies, oh, she could never be anything other than, which is not true. There are so many beautiful girls that are the physicians who are in charge of the patient's care. So that's another one that kind of bothers me, and I've tried my best to do things to change that perspective. And I've always tried to tell patients, my name is Dr. Sadie, I am in charge of your medical care, I'm working with the medicine team, and I also always have that badge that says doctor or physician on it. So that sometimes helps. So I'm gonna set my face with, I have the Giorgio Armani powder, and this is in the color 5.5. So this is what I use all over my face. This is really nice powder. I've been using this like since high school. Giorgio Armani products are super, super nice quality. I've only just started using Charlotte Tilbury because everyone says those are also so smooth and so nice, and I agree, but I'm very like loyal. If I have one thing that works for me, I'm just gonna stick to it until someone shows me something else, but I'm just kind of like, whatever. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? Okay, so next step is contour. So let me just get contour. So I have the Hoola bronzer. I have like a mini one that I got in a kit, and everyone talks about this too, and this is really nice. So we'll do that. Let's do a little bit there. And then I do use this brush. I forget where this is from, but this is from a kit from a YouTuber, and I use that to contour my nose. I have a big Indian nose, and I always contour my sides and the little tip right here. I'll bring it over, and I'll add more eyeshadow after, but I think you gotta bring it always to the top of your nose up here, so it kind of makes it a straight line. Pinches it in. So yeah, so another prime example is touching. Now, before the pandemic, obviously people were touching each other, shaking hands, all that kind of stuff, giving hugs, but there was one situation where I was working and a certain physician, I won't like give too many details, but a certain physician was a little too touchy with me. And it's a weird situation because you don't want to call them out or make anyone uncomfortable. And I know that it can be harmless, but it also can mean something else. And you get these mixed messages of what is this person doing? So this doctor, whenever I would see him, was like very flirty, very chatty, but nice. And at one point he started to be comfortable enough or bold enough to like put his hand on my shoulder. Shoulder is not a big deal, okay? But then slowly, a couple more times, it became my back, the top of my back, and he would kind of rub my back in like a circular motion. And I just would look and be like, what are you doing? Why are you touching me? You're not supposed to touch me. Like, where is it that people have now decided it's okay to touch you like that, right? So it did make me uncomfortable, but not where I felt like unsafe. But the fact that that's even happening at all, it shouldn't have happened. Why are you touching me, right? So I did talk to other people in my circle, and I just said, you know, hey, have they done this to you? Like, is this something that you've noticed, and what do you think about it? And other people that I talked to about it said, no, they don't touch them. Like, that's super weird, and you should talk to him about it. And I did, in a weird the way it was so awkward, and I felt like I was just making him feel so bad because I called him out on it, but he definitely had strange intentions, and it was really, really weird situation. You know, and it's just something you just wish you were never put in. Why is this happening to me? I always used to be like that. I'd be like, why is this happening to me? Because as a pretty young girl, these people take certain opportunities to try and see what happens and how far can they push you. And I was just not happy with it. And I was dating my fiance, and everybody knew, you know, everyone knows I have a boyfriend, and it was just super weird, not cool. Do not touch, no rubbing the back, no touching the shoulder. Like, no colleague should be doing that unless it's like a formal hug or like a handshake or hey, how's it going? Not come and stand here and let me rub your back. Do you know what I mean? So that's another scenario that just always bothers me, that why do people feel like they can do that? If you're watching and you touch people in this pandemic time, that's a whole different story. But before that, or even now after we're done with this pandemic, are you gonna be touching people again in the future? I really don't think so. I think touching people and giving hugs and all this kind of stuff is over for the rest of people's life, and I'm not mad about it. The next step I'm gonna do is bronzer. So I just got this bronzer from the Sephora sale. Look how freaking huge it is and gorgeous and gold. And oh my God, this is why I love Charlotte Tilbury products. Like, this is beautiful. I will have this for like pretty much my whole life. Look at this, is a freaking huge bronzer. Like, how would anybody get through all of this? I always use the NARS Laguna bronzer. I had the big one, and that also I've had forever. I've only just hit pan in the very middle of it, but I still have so much product, and I've had that since high school. I'm really bad with like getting rid of makeup. If it expires, any of that stuff, I don't care. I keep using stuff. I'm like a hoarder, you know? So we're gonna do some light bronzer. I don't always do too much because I feel like I don't need to look more orange. As an Indian person, I have like a golden undertone, but I don't want to look orange. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's good enough, but I'll even soften it up with a bigger brush. Oh, another really, really sad scenario, which made me really, really upset, and I did not complain about it, which I should have, but at the end of the day, the person who said this knew what they said was wrong, and they didn't apologize to me, but I could tell that things had changed with the way that they interacted with me afterwards. Was pretty crazy. So I'll walk you through that situation. So I'm using MAC Copper Tone. This is my favorite blush. This is like a ride or die. I've had this since high school too. I use a couple different blushes, but like for everyday peachy, this is my favorite blush. Oh my God, it's so good for Indian girls. And you put a little on the nose too. Kind of blends in with the bronzer. I was working nights a few months ago, and a patient had come in overnight, and I admitted them, and my intern and we did all of the work, and we had seen the patient, assessed them, done all the workup and everything for the morning team. And my attending had come in, and he was super angry and very aggressive with what he was saying to us about how he did with the other patients. And then when we got to the patient that I'm talking about now, he said this to me. Let me say it to you, exactly the quote that I remember. He said, and I quote, "Your head has been banging against the headboard too much, and you've been getting dumber and dumber since you were a first-year resident." It's just like, what? Like, my jaw dropped. Like, first he was being an asshole about the other patients, and he just came in so angry and like aggressive, and I was shocked, and I had my mask on, and I think he just saw my eyebrows go up, and I said, "What? Excuse me?" And for him to insult me about my intelligence or anything like that, fine, I can deal with. But for him to have brought some type of sexual context to that statement, to say my head was banging against the headboard and that's why I'm getting dumber, I was like, are you freaking kidding me? And I was so shocked in that situation because when you're working nights, so you come into work at 6 p.m. and then you don't leave work until 8 a.m. And we have our 8 a.m. rounds where we sit with this attending and discuss the patients before the day team goes in and starts to do their morning rounds. So I'm like sleep deprived. I didn't sleep all night. I've been doing all this work, and I come in to do our table rounds and he says that to me. Oh my God. I didn't blow up. I didn't get angry. I was shocked, like gobsmacked. You know the British word gobsmacked? Literally, that's what I was like. And my poor first year resident just looked at me like, what do you do? And I said, that's enough. And I got up and left. I said, okay, thank you so much for your wonderful critique, and bye. And it's just really sad because more people than I'm even thinking probably take worse comments than that. And it's so abusive and wrong and disgusting for anyone to even think like that, let alone an attending or somebody who's supposed to be a mentor. So that was a really bad example and made me really, really upset. And it is what it is. And I don't think it's right to just not do anything and try to move on, but sometimes do you want to make a big scene and make a big fuss out of it when you're not going to see this person again, or you just know it's one time and maybe that won't be the case again in the future? I don't know. I'm giving examples of what I did, and I would hope that if someone had to deal with that again in the future, they would speak up and say something right in the moment, because I was caught off guard and I couldn't process what was going on and why was he so mad. Maybe something's going on in his personal life and it was like a huge projection, but that was not cool. So that's another example. And see, these are just 2-3 examples of just like some really terrible things that can bring you down and make you feel bad and make you feel like, wow, is this really worth it? And the point is that these are bad situations, and you can get into conflicts and arguments and battles with people that there's something going on with them. It's nothing to do with you, and these people feel like insulting you, bringing you down, or trying to get you in a vulnerable situation are going to make them feel better. And it's not. And the better thing to do is to be the bigger person and to just let them have their drama, and then you just move on with your life, which is what I've always tried to do. I am not confrontational, I'm not aggressive, I don't yell or argue, and I just try to back off and just let things keep going as they were, as if I wasn't even there. You know what I mean? I would rather just move in silence and let people's own actions speak for themselves. Let's keep going. I'm keep talking and I'm not doing my makeup. Okay, I'm gonna set my face with the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. I got this based on YouTubers' recommendations, and this is really good. I used to use the Urban Decay All Nighter, which I felt was like the best. This is a little bit more liquidy. The one by Urban Decay. Did I say Urban Outfitters or Urban Decay? I meant Urban Decay. The Urban Decay one kind of dries to like a really kind of powdery finish, which I really liked. And it really did last all night. So I like to put my highlighter on after the setting powder, because if it's a little bit wet, then the highlighter goes on super glowy. Like, let me show you. You see that? Freaking love it. And I am using an OG highlighter. I did buy a new one of this because I heard that they were going out of business, which is so sad. But this is Becca Opal. Oh my god, it is amazing. I have Becca Champagne Pop. I have MAC's Extra Dimension Skin Finish in Whisper of Guilt. The pinky one, I forget what that one's called. I've used all different highlighters. But the Whisper of Guilt, obviously, it's the re-edition that they did, because I don't want to use my original, which is so amazing. But, you know, it's a rare commodity. So let's go on to eyeshadow. So I just got the Makeup by Mario palette because in the sale I wanted to get a new eyeshadow palette, and this is literally all matte brown shadows. You know, when you're at work, you're not gonna wear crazy colors and stuff like that. All I wear is brown shadow if I do wear makeup, and it's really just in my crease. I have really hooded eyes, so I don't even know if you can even tell. I don't wear makeup for other people. I wear makeup for me. Makeup is about self-expression and feeling beautiful and doing whatever you want. I don't really care about what other people say. You just want to always look professional and put together in the workplace. Like I said, with this pandemic, no one's really wearing much makeup, but I love it. So yeah, I wonder if you guys put down in the comments different scenarios that you guys have encountered. So on my Instagram, I also posted a reel about, you know, patients talking about that I'm so young or that I look young. I still get comments that I look like I'm in my teens, which I'm like, oh, okay, please. Yeah, that's probably not 100% true, but people say so. I mean, I don't think I look 18. I don't know. You guys put in the comments. I think I look older than that. I'm turning 29 in July, which, oh my gosh, getting older every year. And just that reel was just cute, just like a play on, you know, people saying that I look young and, oh, thank you. But, you know, it's because I do XYZ things, right? I've seen that trend go around on reels. So I'm trying to boost my social media and like up my game. So if you guys haven't followed me on Instagram, I'll leave my Instagram handle here. And if you can, I'd really appreciate if you followed me on there. I'm trying to do my best and to be more interactive, and I just really am so excited that Instagram is where it's at now. I used to not post really on Instagram for a while because as a PGY1 and PGY2, my schedule was so crazy. And let me know if you guys want a review or like a video on me reviewing every year of my PGYs and what it was like, because I would love to do that. Now that I'm almost done residency, oh my God, it's so exciting. And my schedule, obviously, like I said, is way easier now where I can film these videos and do all these things. The last step was my board exam, which I found out I passed. And I'm so happy because I'm freaking done. I'm done everything. It is just so amazing. I'm gonna do my eyebrows. I got the new Huda Beauty eyebrow pencil. I used to use the Anastasia, the thicker one. I figured I'd try it, but I do think it's too thin. That I spend too much time doing my eyebrows with this thing. Like, it's a bit too thin. So if you're someone that doesn't mind spending a lot of time on your eyebrows, that's cool, but I like to just like be ready and one and done really quick. I find that this does take me like so long, which, yeah, maybe I have more time now, but do I really want to spend it doing eyebrows? I don't think so. See, you guys, it takes way too long. Oh my God. So yeah, for every person that has made the situation so uncomfortable and so weird, there have been 200 times more scenarios where I've worked with the most respectful, wonderful, informative, and amazing teachers. You know, I've worked with some attendings that have so much respect and like treat you like you're a real person and that you're a colleague in the same category as them. Some doctors look at you like if you're a resident that you're still not worthy and you're not capable of being at the same table as them, and it's so annoying. And they're not just male doctors, there's female doctors that do that as well. But then on the flip side, there's so many wonderful doctors that treat you with respect. They look at you like you're a colleague. They want to know what your future plans are, and it's honestly so amazing. I really love and respect those doctors because they're just so great, and they know what it's like. All of these people started off as residents or medical students, and it's just weird that they don't put that stuff together. They don't try to understand how we're feeling or what our perspective is, you know? And it's just so annoying because, again, don't they have children, and don't they realize it's 2021, like we're in a different world now, but guess not. I'm using Urban Decay lip liner in 1993. This one's really nice. So we'll go with eyeliner. I have the Tom Ford Eye Defining Pen, which is amazing. This thing is expensive, but this has lasted me over a year. Like I said, I like products that will last me a year. I'm not trying to go out there and buy stuff over and over again. So I'm using the Huda Beauty new mascara. I got this also at the Sephora sale, which is really nice. I have like no eyelashes, guys. When I get nervous, like I get anxiety, I like pluck at my eyelashes and they're like almost gone from my board exam. I have my favorite lipstick, which is Charlotte Tilbury in Pillow Talk, and this is the darker one, the number 2 medium, and it's a really nice color for darker skin tones. The original one is nice, so this one's a little bit more like of a berry color, so I like that. And then I'm gonna do my favorite perfume, which is Tom Ford Fougère d'Argent. This is amazing. If you guys want like a sexy, masculine, like nighttime scent, that one is the bomb. Highly recommend that one. All right, well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video of me just chit-chatting when I'm doing my makeup and talking about misogyny in medicine. Let's have a discussion in the comments about what's important about this kind of topic and why is it important to make people aware that these things are not okay. And as a young person, we go through these scenarios and we're not always sure of how to react, and maybe we can educate a little bit more on the importance of speaking up, doing what we can to prevent these types of things from happening again. And I would love to hear your feedback, so please let me know in the comments. And if you like this video, hit the like button and subscribe. I'd love to see you back again for my next video. And if you guys have the opportunity to, check me out on Instagram and join the family. So thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye. What do you think, Maple? You like my makeup?